Coming up in EastEnders, Emmerdale and Coronation Street next week. Here are 8 exciting Coronation Street spoilers for next week, including a gun showdown, affair accusations, and a rescue mission. Don't go anywhere. Spoiler 1. Brodie's night out turns nasty before surprise rescue. Sean refuses to serve Brodie, Dylan and Betsy in the Rovers, so they head to the precinct instead. But the night turns sour when they're confronted by 3 lads demanding their cans. Brodie tells Dylan and Betsy to run before legging it himself, with the troublemakers in hot pursuit. He's suddenly rescued when he runs into Debbie, Sally, Bernie, Glenda and Christina, who send the gang packing. Meanwhile, Dev and Tim grow worried back in the pub as they realise they've had no contact from their wives, leaving tensions rising. Spoiler 2. Betsy faces big future decision after fashion offer lands. Betsy tells Lauren she's been offered a place at the London College of Fashion, but she's worried about leaving Dylan behind and unsure how he'll react. She also admits she hasn't yet told her mum. Gathering her courage, Betsy shares the news with Lisa and Carla. Carla is delighted for her, but Lisa's response is less certain as the big decision starts to hit home. Spoiler 3. Party plans unravel as Carl's secret sparks showdown. Sally, Glenda and Christina head off in high spirits, cases packed, until Ronnie confirms it's all systems go. But what has he got planned? At the hotel, the trip quickly turns messy as Sally, Bernie, Glenda and Christina wake up with hangovers. Debbie tries to reach Ronnie, while Christina quietly ends a call, and Glenda insists everyone switch off their phones and enjoy themselves. Back home, tensions boil over when Kevin discovers footage showing Carl sabotaging his car brakes. He confronts Carl in a fury, only to realise Tyrone and Ronnie were aware of what happened. As Kevin loses control and advances with a wrench, Carl shocks everyone by producing a gun he's just picked up from Fiona, turning the confrontation dangerously serious. Spoiler 4. Garage Gun Showdown. At the garage, tensions peak as the men stare down the gun, and Ronnie insists nobody is going anywhere until things are resolved. Kevin, convinced it can't be real, grabs the weapon and points it at Carl, leaving Ronnie horrified. As Ronnie tries to wrestle it away, the gun suddenly goes off, sending shockwaves through everyone present as they scramble to understand what's just happened. Spoiler 5. Debbie's trauma. Meanwhile, Debbie is shaken after waking from a nightmare, replaying the terrifying garage incident. Her day gets worse when she clashes with Tracy over a flower order, with Tracy cruelly blaming Debbie's dementia for the mix-up. Overwhelmed, Debbie later lets slip to guess at a gender reveal party that the baby is a boy after spotting it on the balloon order. But chaos erupts when a balloon suddenly pops, and, rattled by her trauma, Debbie fears it's a gunshot all over again, leaving her completely panicked. Spoiler 6. Maria's suspicions flare as Gary and Sarah spark awkward questions. Maria's world is thrown into doubt when she spots Gary and Sarah sharing a hug, just as Gary insists they delete their messages. Watching on, she can't shake the feeling something isn't right and begins wondering if there's more going on between them. Unable to keep it to herself, Maria confides in Fizz and Izzy, revealing her growing fear that Gary could be having an affair with Sarah. Meanwhile, Todd drops a bombshell on Sarah, telling her that Maria suspects she and Gary are secretly involved. The pressure mounts as Maria later corners Gary, asking for a serious chat. Trying to hide his discomfort, Gary plays it cool and suggests they sort things out over a curry later. Spoiler 7. Kit's big marriage plan. Kit confides in Bethany that he's thinking about popping the question to Sarah, leaving him wondering how she'll react. Meanwhile, Harry admits he's really enjoying having Kit around, and Kit reassures him the feeling is mutual. Elsewhere, Gary drops a surprise announcement that he's booked a family holiday, much to the excitement of Izzy, Jake and Liam. But Maria isn't convinced and her suspicions deepen. She later tells Izzy she believes Gary may be cheating on her with Sarah, and that the holiday could be an attempt to ease his guilt. As tensions simmer, Kit quietly admires the engagement ring he's bought for Sarah, clearly hopeful for what comes next. Spoiler 8. Sam's breakdown leaves Nick pointing fingers in emotional fallout. Nick is left reeling as he waits for news about Sam and quickly turns on Ben and Eva, convinced Megan's court case is behind his son's distress. But a reality check soon follows when Nick sees just how much Sam has been suffering. He blames Ben for not uncovering Megan's crime sooner, believing it could have spared Sam pain. As emotions run high, Sam's family rally round him, and he quietly tells Nick he'd like to see Roy. And if you enjoyed these Coronation Street spoilers, subscribe so you can come back for more news from the Cobbles. Libby returns to support Denise as she begins her cancer treatment in EastEnders spoilers for next week, while Chelsea comes face-to-face with Gray's grandmother. Elsewhere, Ian hires a top lawyer in a bid to stay out of jail, and Penny and Vinny make a life-changing decision. Find out more in our explosive EastEnders spoilers for next week. Spoiler 1. Libby returns to support Denise. Jack is at his wit's end when Denise continues to ignore calls from Walford General. Desperate to get Denise to start her treatment immediately, he takes matters into his own hands. Jack tells Phil about Denise's cancer diagnosis, and he is stunned. Together, they come up with a plan to get through to her. Later, Denise is shocked when Phil turns up and reveals he knows all about her illness. Despite Phil's concern, Denise throws him out of the house. Denise notices a ring on Kim's finger, and Kim admits that she and Howie got engaged. Happy to have something to celebrate, the family agree to have a drink in the Vic later that evening. That evening, Denise panics when Phil and Jack arrive at the pub, worried they will reveal her secret. However, when Kim makes an emotional speech about her engagement, Denise rushes to the toilets to hide her upset. Chelsea follows her mum, and soon Denise reveals to everyone that she has cancer. With the news about her cancer now finally out, Denise goes home and returns the hospital's calls. As the family process the heartbreaking news, Chelsea calls Libby. Denise reveals she is facing a month in hospital while she is treated for cancer, but her family promise to keep everything running smoothly at home. Denise is thrilled to see Libby has returned to Walford, and the pair share an emotional reunion. With her family behind her, Denise arrives at the hospital, determined to beat this for her family. As Denise begins her treatment, Jack is overwhelmed when he gets home to find Max, and their friends have gathered to show their support in his time of need. Spoiler 2. Chelsea comes face-to-face with Gray's nan. Chelsea opens up to Libby about the pressures of looking after Jordan. Chelsea admits money is tight, but that Gray's nan, Sheila, has been sending checks for years, but has never cashed them. Knowing Chelsea needs financial support, Libby contacts Sheila behind her sister's back. However, when Sheila later texts her back, Chelsea sees, and the siblings fall out. Later, Chelsea has a heart-to-heart with Eve and realizes she might have to accept Sheila's help, whether she likes it or not. A nervous Chelsea gets ready to meet Sheila with Libby. She is relieved when Sheila reveals she no longer has any contact with Gray. When Sheila offers money for Jordan, Chelsea accepts, despite feeling guilty. Spoiler 3. Ian sacks Johnny. Ian is terrified of going to jail for hitting Jordan with his car, and sacks Johnny as his lawyer, convinced he isn't focusing enough on his case. Determined to fight for his freedom, Ian asks Kathy to help him pay for a top lawyer. But will it be enough to keep him out of prison? Spoiler 4. Penny and Vinny make a huge decision. Vinny and Penny go to a birth plan appointment, but Vinny feels sidelined. However, he is determined to show Penny how committed he is to her and the baby, and asks her to move in with him. Vinny is excited about moving in with Penny, but she is worried about how she will break the news to Gina. Spoiler 5. Bee causes more trouble for Billy and Honey. Honey is feeling brighter after her accident and feels well enough to celebrate with Billy. Just when it looks like Billy and Honey might be able to get things back on track, their date doesn't quite go to plan. Later, Bee overhears Billy telling Alfie what happened and uses the opportunity to her advantage. Bee invites Honey out for a drink to drip poison in her ear about Billy. Will her plan work? And if you enjoyed these EastEnders spoilers, subscribe so you can come back for more news from the square. Here are 8 Emmerdale spoilers for next week, including Charity spiralling after Todd attack and Kane getting bad cancer news. Stay tuned. Spoiler 1. Charity spirals after Todd's attack. Charity is suffering a breakdown and Manpreet goes to check on her. Completely numb following Todd's assault, Charity lies it's due to postnatal depression. Manpreet prescribes medication and Charity is left feeling utterly alone in her new lie. Spoiler 2. Sarah's guilt intensifies. Mac tells Sarah what's going on, and Sarah feels awful that the surrogacy has caused such emotional pain. As Charity continues to deflect questions, Sarah breaks down and Mac consoles her. Spoiler 3. Kane gets bad cancer news. Miss Rhodes informs Kane that his surgery was successful, but tests have shown it is likely the cancer has spread. Kane is devastated when he realizes he'll have to wait for treatment and that the side effects could be permanent. Spoiler 4. Kane tries to make it up to Kyle. Kane tells Kyle he's proud of him and wants to go to his army cadets passing out. But Kyle sees his seat is empty and is disappointed. However, Kane has had a toilet accident, and after some words of encouragement from Bob and Charles, he returns and explains what happened to Kyle. Kyle is pleased his dad came back. Spoiler 5. Caleb works out he's been scammed. Realizing he's been conned out of the £5,000 he sent to Steph, Caleb is furious to have been scammed so easily. Ruby comments that the scammer knowing a private detail about Laurel and Ross means they are close to home. Caleb calls the police, but will they catch the con artist? Spoiler 6. Caleb goes dodgy. Annoyed at himself for being taken in, Caleb decides he needs his edge back and tells Billy he's starting a counterfeit goods operation out of the depot. He tries to get Billy involved by offering him a percentage cut, and Billy seriously considers it. Is it a big mistake, though? Spoiler 7. Jay wants the truth. Jay is back from Canada and worried when he keeps hearing Archie's name in connection with Caleb's scam. He demands answers from Kerry and accuses her and Archie of being involved. But will she admit the truth? Spoiler 8. Lewis kidnapped. Vinny surprises Lewis with a trip to Madeira, but the spontaneity of it causes Lewis's anxiety to spiral, so he pulls out. However, Ross talks him into going, and Lewis rushes out with his suitcase to meet his taxi so he can get to the airport and surprise Vinny. But then a van screeches to a halt and startles him. Lewis is bundled into the van by men in balaclavas. Who are they, and what do they want with him? And if you enjoyed these Emmerdale spoilers, subscribe so you can come back for more.